So in last session, we have discussed about the MD5 algorithm, message digest fifth version, right? So in which we have discussed about the different steps. Basically, there was five steps which will be performed to append the plain text data, then to attach the length so that it should be matched to the actual length. Then different processing before that, dividation of the plain text into the different blocks. 512 bit blocks will be generated, and again that 512 each block will be divided into the 16 blocks, each of will be 32 bit, and some sort of the processing will be done on that blocks, and you will get 128 bit of the message digest, right? So 128 bit of message digest will be generated by using the MD5 algorithm. And one more algorithm is available, which is SHA algorithm, in which we received 160 bit of them message digest, isn't it? So we usually say that SHA is more powerful than the MD5 algorithm because of the length beat, the beats which are available message digest which will be generated is 160 bits. So it is to apply the brute force attack is more complex than if you are applying on the MD5. So moving ahead, we are having the next chapter, that is public key infrastructure. Last point from your third unit, that is public key infrastructure. Now, what is this public key infrastructure? Basically, this is the management of the keys, management of the public keys and the private keys. The keys which will be shared, even if it is not the public key or private key, which are used for the symmetric key. But in symmetric key algorithm also, we say that sender and the receiver, they both agree on one key, right? Which they will be using for the encryption as well as for the decryption. So that key will be managed by using this PKI, okay, by using this structure of this PKI. Now, cryptographic keys are nothing but the spatial pieces of the data, and the key management refers to the secure administration of the cryptographic keys. So, this key management overcomes the entire life cycle of the keys, okay, like starting from the key generation, then key establishment, then the key storage, then the key usage, and then key archival, and then the key destruction. So this entire life cycle will be of the keys will be managed by the public key infrastructure, in which basically there are two we can say specific requirement of the key management is available. One is the secrecy of the private keys and the assurance of the public keys. Now what is the secrecy of the private key? See, throughout the key life cycle, की का कोई भी एक स्टेप हो, उसका लाइफ साइकिल का कोई भी एक स्टेट हो, थ्रू आउट दैट लाइफ साइकिल your secret key must remain secret from all the parties in the network, except those who are the owner of that key, as well as those are authorized to use that key, isn't it? जो authorized users है, apart from them, apart from that, whoever the users are available on the network, from them we have to hide this secret key, hide this private key, isn't it? And the second one is, the second specific requirement of the key management is the assurance of public key. Now, what is assurance of public key? See, in public key cryptography, uh, basically your public keys are in open domain, right? And it will be seen as a public pieces of data. So by default, there are we can say there will not be any assurance of whether a public key is correct, or with whom it can be associated, or we can say how or what it can be used for which purpose we can use for. It is, it is no any assurance of the apart for that public key, okay. So, and for that we require this key management for of public key, which needs to focus much more we can say ज़्यादा करके इस पे फोकस इसलिए वी कैन गिव सो दैट assurance of we can give the for public keys, right? So here, and this entire thing will be managed by we can say this assurance of the public key will be given by द PKI, दैट इज पब्लिक की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। ये जो पूरा मैनेजमेंट है कीज का, ये कौन प्रोवाइड करेगा, या फिर टू हुम इट कैन बी यूज्ड, फॉर विच पर्पज इट कैन बी यूज्ड, या फिर ये की किससे बिलोंग करती है, दिस पब्लिक की इज ऑफ ए यूजर, बी यूजर, डी यूजर, ये किससे बिलोंग करती है, that entire thing will be managed by the public key infrastructure. And also it provides the identification of your public key, and as well as the distribution to whom we have to distribute this कि ये किसको uh, who is the another authorized person who can use this key, that can be only identified, that can be only finalized by this PKI. Okay, now the entire PKI is basically we can say there are some components available. These are listed here. One is your digital certificate, which is also called as the public key certificate. Then we have private key tokens, certification authority, registration authority, and the certificate management system. These are all the components which will be dealt under this PKI. Now the first thing here is the digital certificate. This we have already discussed in the last session ki what is actually the digital certificate is, and which contents are available into the structure of the digital certificate, right? So but basically what we do in this, whenever any client want um to approve the digital certificate, then simply that client will do some application to the certificate authority, right? The user or any server client, या फिर हम कह सकते हैं कि कोई agent who will approve its certificate, right? So first of all, that client needs to provide some application, right? And while he is providing the application, the client also has to prove their identity. Yes, I am using, I want the sign on my digital certificate, but I am also the authorized person. वो बताने के लिए भी keys will be used here while he is writing the application, or while he is proving himself. That time he is going to use the pair of the keys which are available with the client, and the application will be that certificate signing request, that is CSR, will be submitted to the certificate authority. Now certificate authority will verify all the details of that certificate contains, as well as the person who is requesting for that digital certificate. It will be verified. Okay. After verification, now CA will authorize, or CA will issue the digital certificate. That digital certificate, we also called it as a standard X509, X.509 certificate. So this will be issued. And we already know the usage of the digital certificate over the internet. If we have to uh, identify or authenticate any user, as I said, we can take an example of passport, कि कहीं और देश में जाते हैं तो our identity will be verified through our passport only, right? So like that, so even if you are roaming in the APSIT college, so you will be identified, और कोई campus का कुछ selection चल रहा है, campus is बहुत सारे कंपनीज है, और एक साथ हर एक डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस के स्टूडेंट्स आर गैदर्ड, ओके? So in that mob, you will be identified by using your iCard itself. Like that, over the internet, your messages, or you as a user, you as a client on the internet, only will be identified by using the digital certificate, and which should be authorized by your certificate authority, right? That is CA. So this is the digital certificate. Now the second component of your PKI is certifying authority, that is CA. Now we already know what CA does. It issues here. It issues the digital certificate to the client who have already requested. Now the key functions of the CA is generating the key pairs, issuing the digital certificates, publishing the certificates, verifying your certificates, and revocation of your certificates. Now what exactly this all terms means? Generating the key pairs means it may possible your CA will generate the key itself, मतलब वो खुद ही या तो जनरेट करेगा, और by combining with the client और वो दोनों मिल के by using some sort of the data from both of the side, they will generate the key pair independently or jointly, that depend, okay? But generating the key pair is the main function of your CA. Now issuing the digital certificate, about this we have already discussed कि issuing digital certificate how that actually works, ये हमने पहले ही डिस्कस कर दिया. Now publishing the certificate. Now always remember, whenever the certificate will be signed, the CA need to publish the certificates so that particular user can you know, any user who is verifying that any particular client, that particular user should find that digital certificate. So and because of that, CA need to publish that certificate. So there are basically two ways to publish any certificate. One is simply to publish your certificate, like जैसे हमारे फ़ोन नंबर्स, हमारा हमारे जैसे टेलीफोन डायरेक्टरी होती है ना, जिसमें हम अपने फ़ोन नंबर्स एक साथ पब्लिश कर देते हैं, लाइक दैट, जैसे होता था पहले. Like that, some sort of directories will be available for the digital certificate. So in that directories, CA can publish that particular certificate. And one more way is there, that CA will circulate to some selected users. That certificate will be transmitted to the selected users to whom it may require later on. Okay, so some sort of information is available with the CA कि जिन्होंने इसकी रिक्वेस्ट की है फॉर वेरिफिकेशन एंड एंटायर थिंग. सो इन दैट केस दोज यूजर्स विल बी गेटिंग दैट डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट थ्रू द CA. तो ये दो तरीके हैं टू पब्लिश द सर्टिफिकेट्स. नाउ द सेकेंड लास्ट, दैट इज द वेरीफाइंग सर्टिफिकेट्स. नाउ इट इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज की सर्टिफिकेट्स हमेशा सिर्फ साइन होने के लिए आते हैं, बट इट इज़ ऑल्सो पॉसिबल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ द सर्टिफिकेट इज ऑल्सो पेंडिंग. मतलब किसी ने साइन किया हुआ है, बट वेदर इट इज ऑथराइज्ड और नॉट, दैट विल बी वेरीफाइड बाय CA ऑल्सो. सो दिस इज द वन ऑफ द फंक्शन ऑफ द CA कि if it make public key available in the environment, to we can say whatever the signature is available on that certificate, that will be verified by the CA. Okay, now the last one, that is the revocation of the certificates. Now revocation of certificate means, even if the CA has granted a certificate, a digital certificate to any one of the client, but later on suppose that particular client has lost the trust, or CA has lost the trust in the client, then in that case that CA can revoke the certificate which is already issued, okay, which is already issued to any one of the client. So that can be revoked because of any reason, like uh, we can say if that particular client has compromised of private key, मतलब उसने private key किसी और को दे दी, या फिर private key कोई और ही दो चार लोग use कर रहे हैं, like that. So if the loss of trust will be done, or if the private key के साथ if any miscellaneous use will happen, then in that case that particular certificate will be revoked by the CA. So this work is also done by the CA. But always whatever the certificates has been revoked by different client, the list of that revoked certificate will be maintained for the later on use, and also that will be published in the environment कि कौन से डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट जो हैं वो डिबार किए गए हैं, they are not authorized now. That list will be publicly available in the environment or in the network by the CA. ये काम भी किसका है? CA का ही है. Now the next is, this is all about the key functions of your CA, और CA क्या क्या काम करता है, कैसे करता है, this we have listed here. Now the next here is, we have the registration authority. Now registration authority, we always say that our digital certificate will be issued by the CA, right? But in some cases CA may use a third party registration authority. क्या कर सकता है CA? कोई एक थर्ड पार्टी को असाइन कर सकता है टू ऑथराइज्ड योर सर्टिफिकेट and to perform some necessary checks on the person, or we can say any company who is applying for that certificate. Okay, so to confirm the identity of that company as well as to confirm the identity of that person who is applying for digital certificate, it will be verified by that third party registration authority. Okay, So it may possible that registration authority, that is RA, your registration authority will appear to that particular client who is applying as a CA. यूजर को क्या लगेगा, वो क्लाइंट को क्या लगेगा, हु इज अप्लाइंग फॉर द डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट, yes I am dealing with the CA, but actually CA has appointed one some third person to approve that. Okay, but they do not actually sign the certificate that is issued. जो थर्ड पार्टी जो रहती है ना आपकी रजिस्ट्रेशन अथॉरिटी, वो एक्चुअल में साइन नहीं करते. दे विल ओनली वेरीफाई द कंटेंट, दे विल ओनली अप्रूव द आइडेंटिटी एंड दे विल इन्फॉर्म टू CA एंड CA इज गोइंग टू साइन ऑन दैट सर्टिफिकेट. आखिरी उसमें फिनिशिंग जो रहेगा वो CA ही करेगा, बट रजिस्ट्रेशन अथॉरिटी विल वर्क एज अ middleman. Okay, now the next component is certificate management system. Certificate management system basically it is the management system, we can say, through which your certificates will be published. Okay, whatever the certificates are published temporary, or we can say permanently, which are suspended or renewed, or we can say which are revoked. So this entire thing will be managed by your certificate management system, that is CMS. And this CMS normally जब भी ये रिवोक किया जाता है या सस्पेंड किया जाता है, दे नॉर्मली डू नॉट डिलीट दैट सर्टिफिकेट्स, क्योंकि टू प्रूव द स्टेटस ऑफ द करंट स्टेटस ऑफ दैट सर्टिफिकेट, या पेंडिंग है या फिर जो भी है उसके ऑथेंटिकेशन अथॉरिटी हैज बीन रिमूव्ड, ये सब उसका स्टेटस जो है मेंटेन किया जाता है. एंटायरली उसको डिलीट नहीं किया जा, इट विल बी मेंटेन फॉर द फर्दर लीगल एक्शंस. It will be maintained at certificate management system itself. Okay, now related to this we have one more point, that is private key tokens. Now up to this CMS we have the components of PKI. Now there is one more thing, that is private key tokens. Now what is this private key tokens? While we are dealing with this all the public key, या फिर we can say while the public key of your client is stored on the certificate, digital certificate में हमने देखा था ना कि some in that structure there is one field where we store the public key of that client, right? So while we are storing that public key of client on the certificate, whatever the associate secret private key will be there, we cannot store that on the digital certificate, right? Also if we are saying कि okay ये इस client का public private key है, then I am going to store it on my computer or on my laptop. जिस client का laptop है उस client के laptop पे ही I am going to store that private key. This method also we cannot adopt. Why? Because if an attacker gains an access to that computer or the laptop, then he or she can easily gain the access of the private key, right? So for this reason your private key is stored on some secure removable storage token. Okay, ऐसा कोई सिक्योर टोकन रहेगा, रिमूवेबल रहेगा, लेकिन फ्रॉम दैट विल नॉट बी परमानेंट. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि हम यहाँ पे ही इसी पेन ड्राइव में ही रख रहे हैं, लाइक दैट. कोई एक्सटर्नल डिवाइस ऐसा नहीं कि जो परमानेंट रहेगा, बट दैट विल बी removable storage token access, to which we can say we can protect by using the password, the space which we can protect by using the password. And different vendors will use the different techniques, or different keys will be used to store that. Okay, जैसे कि एक एंट्रस्ट करके जो एक कंपनी है, दैट दे विल यूज द प्रोप्राइटरी लाइक .epf फॉर्मेट रहता है उनका. So different जो vendors रहते हैं उनका they will have the different pattern to store that keys, secret keys. Okay, so this is all about the PKI, how the keys will be managed, और उसका life cycle कैसे रहता है, या who is working under that to provide the authentication to, so that that public key and the private keys will be managed and passed to each other. Okay. Okay, and the next Our next chapter is fourth unit, that is authentication protocols and the digital signature scheme. Now in this, just a minute. Authentication protocols and digital signature schemes. So as I said, uh, in the last session, we have already discussed about the authentication, why we require the authentication and what is authentication exactly. That we have already discussed. So few parts like MAC we have discussed, then cryptography, ciphertext we have discussed, and one hash function we have discussed. Okay, so under that also we have user authentication, entity authentication. These are all required and which we have already discussed. User authentication, so that we can verify the authentication or identity of both of the clients or both of the entities which are taking part into the communication, right? So user authentication, entity authentication, the resources which are we are using through which two parties are communicating with each other. जैसे कि मान लो कोई if there is a network in which the different client different users are communicating with each other, then there will be a link. एक वहां पे क्या रहेगा, नेटवर्क लिंक रहेगा थ्रू विच दे आर कम्युनिकेटिंग. सो दैट एंटिटी ऑथेंटिकेशन इज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड. So there are different tools available to do that. These authentication protocols are again two types, one way authentication and mutual authentication. अभी ये one way मतलब क्या होता है? For example, मान लो sender A है and receiver B है. Okay, there are two entities, sender A and the B. Now whenever sender is sending the data to the B, we will verify whether the data has been sent by the authenticated sender or not. मतलब sender की identity B जो है, B user, it will verify. Okay, but A is not verifying कि whether I am sending to the correct person or not. This is the one way authentication. If two entities, if two users are communicating with each other and only one is verifying the identification of the other one, then it is the one way authentication. Okay, and the mutual authentication is also, which is also called as the two way authentication. Mutual authentication में क्या होता है, if sender A and the receiver B is there, then both will identify each other, both will verify the identification of both the users. दोनों तरफ से एक कुछ steps perform किए जाएंगे, so that they will verify each other कि whether we are communicating with the right person or not. That is the mutual identification. This is also called as two-way identification. So under this mutual authentication, we have some more protocols in which the session key will be generated. Session key matlab before actually starting or before actually communicating, जो भी उनका डेटा है एक दूसरे को भेजने से पहले, whether I am a valid user or not, that will be verified first. So वो जो verification हो रहा है, that comes under this mutual authentication. The very first, we can say, protocol we have here to identify the user to whom we are communicating is the Nidam Schroeder. Sorry, इसका जो pronunciation है अलग अलग किया जाता है. गूगल से जो मैंने सर्च किया था, श्रोडर ही प्रोटोकॉल, इसको निदाम श्रोडर प्रोटोकॉल ही कहा जाता है. Now these two are the different developers. They both by combining have developed this particular process, how we can manage, how we can identify each other. This was the first mutual protocol which was published in we can say 1978 around by this Nidam and the Schroeder. Okay, so this approach, ये इसमें जो भी यहाँ पे steps यहाँ पे perform किए गए हैं, these steps were this approach was proposed for the different usage. So secret key, which will include your, we can say, secret key or public key, and also for the generation of the keys also, and as well as for the distribution of the keys also. मतलब different purposes के लिए this protocol was invented. It is not required कि आपका authentication के लिए ही, but while we are distributing the keys, while we are generating the keys, and while we are sharing the secret keys, that time also we in different approaches we use this protocol. Now we are here also considering whatever the this protocol is using one secret key, that key is already known, or that secret key is available with the sender as well as at the receiver side also. Okay, so sender and the receiver, they share a secret key, and basically they will use it for the secure communication with the authentifying with the one authentication server will be available here. यहाँ पे Alice and the Bob, these two are the users, and AS is nothing but the authentication server. So before, okay, I will explain the step directly, so it will be easy to understand. Now here, what is happening? This Alice, we will say as a sender A, and this Bob as a receiver B. Okay. Now, whenever Alice wants to communicate with the Bob, if A wants to communicate with the Bob, that Alice first of all wants to communicate with the authentication server. Okay. Now, what it does? So basically, this sender A will request for a session key to the authentication server. ये निधाम शेड्यूल प्रोटोकॉल का शॉर्ट नोट में या फिर एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए 10 मार्क्स या 6 मार्क्स के लिए आ सकता है. ओके, so what it does, simply you have to remember this diagram. It is very easy. What Alice will do, it will simply request for a session key to authenticate an authentication server for the communication with the receiver B. Okay, but ये कैसे request करेगा? Simply some sort of message will be sent to the AS. अब वो message किस तरीके से होगा? It will send its own key, एक secret कोई key रहेगी from the A side that will be attached, as well as the network address of this A. इस A के लिए जो एक some network address will be there, right? So that will also be attached, as well as this B's ID. इस B का भी कुछ तो identification रहेगा, B का नाम रहेगा, user name, whatever the identification, जो एक primary identification रहता है, that will be attached. Okay, so this type of the message will be transmitted from the Alice to the authentication server. Okay, now whenever in the next step, this was the first step. Okay, in the next step, this authentication server returns some message. Okay, now what it will return? It will return with containing some newly generated key. एक नया key ही generate करेगा by using this provided items by the sender A. इसने जो जो यहाँ पे details भेजे, by using that and some keys from itself, it will generate some new key which will be denoted like ये जो SK यहाँ पे है, that is newly generated key. So this key will be simply sent back, and कुछ एक अलग सा number भी रहेगा. Number कैसे रहेगा? So that it will show you the sequential number जो यहाँ पे अभी, so it will show कि ये current अभी reply है. This is the reply for this current request only. To represent that, one newly generated number will be transmitted from this authentication server to this Alice. Okay. Now by receiving this SK, this A, ये जो इसने भेजा हुआ B का identification है वो, and the network address of the A, this entire thing will be encapsulated into the one message. और ये जो SK and A एक अलग से आपको दिख रहा है, this is called as the token. This is called as a token because the SK is generated by this authentication server by using the A's key. ठीक है? So this SK and A and this the remaining details will be transmitted back again to the Alice. Now whenever Alice will receive this Alice will use the SK जो इसने generate किया हुआ एक key है, वो ये use करेगा. Now this particular token which is received by the Alice by the AS, now it will transmit it without any encryption. अब ये encryption नहीं करेगा क्योंकि इस पे encryption already यहाँ पे authentication server पे हो चुका था. Now it will transmit it to the Bob. ठीक है, अब ये क्या करेगा? ये B की तरफ भेज देगा. Now whenever it will transmit it to the Bob will verify the details that SK and the A it will receive. Okay, अब Bob क्या करेगा? The SK which it has received, it will decode that. If Bob can decode that, मतलब ये समझ जाएगा कि मेरे पास authenticated A user से ही आया हुआ data है. So Bob will acknowledge that. Now to acknowledge that, it will transmit its own some newly generated key. Okay, वो क्या करेगा, एक सीक्वेंस नंबर जो कि इसी रिक्वेस्ट के लिए आई हैव सेंड दिस रिप्लाई टू वेरीफाई दैट, इट विल सेंड सम नंबर. Now once it will receive that number, once Alice will receive that number, now Alice is going to send the next number. मतलब कहाँ से अब exactly हम लोग start कर रहे हैं, और after this we can say the actual communication will be starting in between the Alice and the Bob. So simply we can say जो हमने कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क में एक थ्री वे हैंडशेक प्रोसेस देखा था. Okay, three way handshake process. But what was happening in the three way handshake process? Sender and the client both are communicating with each other. They both are agreeing to each other. They are verifying to with each other. वो directly एक दूसरे से ही verify करते हैं. But in this protocol, there is a mediator which is called as the authentication server. ठीक है? ये third party server जो है, they will verify, they will approve, they will give you some sort of um, the number, or we can say the token by which the rest of the parties will authenticate to each other. Okay, so this is a very simple Nidam Shraddha's protocol in which you just have to explain this diagram, or even if you will explain the steps also, that is also enough for the short note. Okay, so